certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
Oh, hello. How are you doing? Good morning. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LaVern, and this is One Street Over. Rich Top Rambler singing us in, as always, with our theme song. What's going on one street over from where you live, y'all? And, well, we just got a lot of stuff to talk about, and the perfect person to update us on what's going on one street over from where you live in Robeson County is our county mayor. Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Well, you know, it's pretty cool getting up at 6 o'clock. Well, I left the house at 6 and watched Robeson County grow up.
Yeah.
You know, where I live at, you're seeing squirrels and deer and everything meet in the morning. And the closer you get to town, the busier people are getting. And you see people with the lawnmowers loaded up. And,
Yeah.
you know, and then you're seeing people that's running late to work. You see how, you know, Robeson County's waking up.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm telling you. And before I had somebody message me yesterday about something that we're doing this summer. And they said, before you know it, you'll be back to school. I'm like, I know. It's like this quick and we'll be back to school. And I know, kids, you don't want to hear that, but.
It will be.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody asked me yesterday, when will they do a year-round school? And I said, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're definitely, when I was a kid, we had 3 months off, I think.
Yeah.
It was much longer, and it seemed that way. But we didn't have fall break.
Right.
We didn't have as much time off at Christmas, and we didn't always get spring break. And of course, I'm from West Kentucky, but so it was a different, But I think I like the schedule they have now. We get a decent break in the summer. We get a fall break. We get some time off at Thanksgiving. We're off at Christmas, spring break. I mean, it's just, I had somebody tell me, they said that's one of the biggest pluses with teaching. It's exhausting. I don't care what you think about teachers. It's exhausting. And because, I mean, you've got kids, you get close to them and there's events all the time. And you think, well, I'm just going to do I'm 8 to 3, whatever. No, you're not. Not if you're doing it right. Not if you're doing it right, because you get involved in these kids' lives and you want to be a part of their life. And so it's exhausting. So that's why they have those breaks, guys, is because the teachers that are really committed, they're invested in these kids' lives, and it's something all the time. Just like you were saying, you're worn out because you're farming, you're mayoring, and you're going to grandkids' ball games.
Well, I don't go to many ball games. My wife's probably listening, so she's shaking her head right now. It's something going on all the time.
Yes, it is. And I mean, just like my 7-year-old grandson, he'll be 8 in July, but he's playing travel ball.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just, well, we were supposed to have everybody over this weekend for a family day. They didn't get to come because they ended up changing. They got rained out one weekend. And so they ended up rescheduling it on Father's Day weekend. I thought, well, that's stupid. But
Well, we had to go to a doubleheader in
whatever you
Portland.
do, yeah.
Father's Day. My granddaughter was on the All-Star team,
Yeah.
which both teams that day is getting to go to state somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's, there's another weekend there.
There it is. And I mean, but it's wonderful. These kids are only little for a while. And I told my husband, I said, if he's into travel ball now, he may not want to have nothing to do with it when he gets in middle school and high school, and he's loving it now. And we'll just do the best we can, get there when we can, and they'll come here when they can. And you just make the best of it.
Well, it's
That's the price of having a big family that you love. You just have a lot of things you want to do.
well,
So,
when I got out of school, that was the main thing, was to go play ball on a team somewhere that summer.
yeah.
But after a while, I think the kids get tired of it.
Well, that's one thing I have observed. And I've had several friends and family that have, the kids get into it. Now, we put limits on our kids. My kids still to this day don't forgive me for not letting them play baseball. But we had 4, and it's like, you're going to have to pick a sport. And we kind of picked football for them. Forgive us, boys, because we kind of pushed them. We didn't we did. We pushed them in. It's like, we're just going to do football. And I had 2 that hated it. Absolutely hated it. And we finally backed off the freshman year of one of my twins and said, you can quit. You can quit. Because it just was
It's
not.
not for everybody.
No, and we should have backed off. We should have never insisted. We should have never. Don't do that to your kids' parents. That's the biggest mistake I ever made, pushing my kids. Because I wanted them I just wanted them to be moving. I just wanted them athletic. But I should have let them figure it out and then just do and if you can't get to everything, you won't be at every game. You just work with it. You just got to be more flexible. And when you're a young parent, you're like, oh, this is what we're going to do. Man, lighten up. Just let life happen, and just enjoy it. But don't be like, well, I've got to do this. No, you don't. You just got to pray every day, see what God leads you to, and let your kids be kids, man. And so that's the thing with our grandson. If he's enjoying this, well, cool. And we'll get there when we can. Y'all come when you can. We'll do the best we can. That's all you can do.
Yep, that's all you can do.
There you go. There's life.
Yeah, we done went through the summer, ready to go back to school now. How are you adapting to, your vacation, summer? You're talking about cleaning up the farm and all that, and
I stay extremely busy.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. I'm one of these people. I'm recovering from knee replacement right now, and so I'm having to. My doctor looked me in the eye, Dr. Jeffrey Hodrick. I love you. You're just awesome. But he looked me in the eye after my surgery. He goes, 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks on your feet, no more, per hour. He goes, if you overdo it, he says you will. He goes, you can overdo it and mess up what I've done. He goes, you've got to heal. And so my therapist, Bethany up at Star, she's kind of the same thing. She's like, LaVern, you've got to not be on your feet more than 10 minutes per hour for a couple of weeks. And I came in here without my walker today and no cane, and I shouldn't have done that. But I'm doing fabulous. But I'm so stir crazy. I'm about to lose my mind sitting around. And I'm just one of these people. I've got to have something going. So having the schedule we do where we're off in the summers where I can get all my personal stuff done, I'm thrilled with it. Now, my husband and I both are still in our educational programs. So once we get those, because we're still in school. Now, I don't have classes this summer. I finished last week. Well, the week after school, I had to be in Murfreesboro for 3 days. And then I've still got like 5 night classes I've got to take in the fall that I'll have to be in Murfreesboro, and then I'll be done. So I don't have classes through the summer. His classes are going through the summer, and then he'll be done in August. So once we get all that education stuff done that we have to do, and we have the full summer off, it'll be awesome. And I'm going, on a mission trip and all that too. And I've got to get my left knee replaced too. So this summer's been about getting my knees done because I'm tired of limping around. And I'll just kind of tease this. I've been talking to Bethany up at Star about coming in one morning, and we're going to talk about joint replacement because you do not have to hurt. And I found that out when I got my hips replaced. I have terrible, just arthritis, bone on bone. You can get this taken
You're
care
going
of.
to be the bionic woman, right?
Oh, my husband definitely is. You figure, but yeah, I've got both hips and I've got the right knee now, and I'm gonna get the left knee done right before school starts back. But we're gonna talk about that because you don't have to live in pain, guys, but you got to go to the right doctor. You don't need to let just anybody do it. We've learned that because we had an orthopedist cripple my husband for a year, and I mean literally crippled him. And Dr. Hodrick's the one that got him back on his feet. If you look at my husband, he kind of walks funny because he had a doctor that literally
He's a
crippled
big
him.
boy. He's a big boy.
Well, he had a bad doctor. And there are some out there, guys. So, you got to do your research. But enough about that. My husband's like, okay, it's 10 after, LaVern. You haven't even talked about the county commissioner meeting. There's a lot going on. Mayor Billy Vogle, for those of you who are new maybe, this is our county mayor. And he's in his second term. Let me just kind of introduce you to him. He's a local. He's a farmer. He's a husband, father, granddaddy, all those things. Loves Jesus Christ, and so that's your guy right here. On his wrist, he's got this little bracelet he gives to a lot of people that says, "God's got this."
Yeah,
and I love that.
I see so many people every day that I hand them out some, and
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised people you think's on top of the world and all this, but they got problems like everybody else too.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
So, but he's a man of God, and he prayerfully considers what happens with this county and everything that he does. So, he's a good guy. Be nice to him, please. When you see him.
Everybody's pretty nice. We went through these floods 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Oh man, it's been
I was
crazy.
getting phone calls all the time, and I had one gentleman. He was fussing about all the rocks in the road that washed out people's driveways, and I told him, I said, "Mister, my granddad never called nobody about rocks
Pick
in the
him
road."
up.
And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, because he didn't have no gravel in his driveway.
Yeah.
All he had was 2 mud ruts up to the house."
Yeah. It's like, come on. We have gotten so spoiled.
Well, it's
we
hey,
really have.
when Mother Nature does her thing,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to step back and let her do it, and then when she gets done, go in and fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. You can't get out there in the middle of it and fight it.
Uh-huh.
It's dangerous to do that anyway.
Well, we live right there at the end of Carr's Creek, and that thing becomes a lake we've had so much flooding down there.
Oh gosh.
And it's been incredible, and it's been a mess to clean up. And but you just clean it up. It's the reason we've built 2 bridges across that creek and finally stopped because the flood just keeps taking them down.
Yeah,
We're
you're
just like,
fighting
we're done.
Mother Nature.
No.
I've got a hayfield down in River Bottom. I live on Red River, and the water got over it twice in 1 month.
Oh,
the
really?
hayfield. I've never seen that before.
Well, you're able to salvage the hay? Is it going to dry out?
The first time it got flattened,
Yeah.
and then it looked like it was trying to come back up a little bit, and then it got flattened again. But on a Saturday 2 weeks ago, me and my son got out there, and we pulled the fence out of the hayfield.
Yeah.
All the posts were laid down.
I'm sure.
And then I went in and tried to cut it, and you talking about dusty and dirty.
Oh, I bet.
We salvaged some of it, but hey, that's just Mother Nature.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, my brother lost some beautiful soybeans last year because of flooding.
Oh yeah, it's
And they got underwater, and I mean, it just they were beautiful, and it was just like made us sick.
and
But-
it not only affects hayfield, it affects courthouses.
oh yes, let's get to that. There we go.
Yeah, let's talk about that a second.
yeah. Let's talk about what's going on at the courthouse.
We we've been dealing with maybe having a judicial center
Yeah.
where everything is under one roof.
Right.
And that's going to be great when that day happens. But all of a sudden, you don't know what you got until you lose it.
Yeah.
And we had that 20 inches of rain, 11 inches of rain in 20 hours. And the water pooled up there at the courthouse on the ceiling, roof. And evidently, that clock tower is like a chimney of a house. And if you've got a chimney that leaks, you have worked and worked to stop it. Well, the courtroom upstairs got hurt pretty bad.
Oh wow.
Servo's been there ever since it happened, sucking water out of the floor, out of the walls. Right now they're scalping up there. We're not having court up there,
Yeah.
but we're going to have to put a roof on that courthouse. That roof is 19 years old, and it just had a warranty for 20 years.
Yeah.
Thank goodness our insurance is going to pay for the damage inside,
Yeah.
but we're still discussing how much they're going to pay up on the roof.
Right.
That roof the bid come in around $1.2 million.
Yeah. My husband and I, we were roofing contractors for 20 years.
Yeah, it
You
come
have
in.
no idea what commercial roofing costs.
Right, it come in around $1.2 million. We was not planning on this, and if the insurance doesn't pay, then we're going to have to take it out of general fund. People fuss about counties. What you got a savings account? No, we have a fund for emergencies like this, and it does affect your borrowing power because usually that money's in a fund where we can borrow money to do school projects. You know, when you go to the bank and you want something, he's going to ask you what you're going to put up.
Yeah.
So you got to have some fund balances to do that kind of business. In fact, I'll also get into our audit. We had let me stay on the roof a minute. Okay, this is a historical building.
Yeah.
So you've got to put something comparable to the time that this building was built to keep it on the register. And that also makes it more expensive. Now they're talking about, there's 3 roofs up there, and all 3 of them got to come down. That's a lot of weight up there when it gets saturated with water. And we've already got a weight problem with that clock tower up there. And the building just takes a lot to keep it up. So we're looking at $1.3 million and getting all the roofs down. Right now we're talking about the safety factor involved if we try to have court while that crane is parked up there working on that roof. People will be walking under it and around it, and that's a big concern. So we may have to find another building to have court until we get it fixed. And those are hard to find too because the sheriff has to secure that building.
Yeah.
And you can't have people just walking in without security. When you got a jury, they're not supposed to see